Yeah, this for all delegates. Today's afternoon session, there are two sessions. One is on livestock integration in natural farming, and another one is value chain infrastructure and marketing management for natural farming. These two inputs are there today afternoon. For first input, particularly on livestock integration, Dr. Sabyasachi is here. He helped a lot for coordination and identification and everything he's doing from RRA Network side. And prior to this also, he was instrumental in collaborating this RRA Network program, particularly on livestock component with Manage. And we did so many workshops, training programs on RRA Network in different places, even Gujarat, Bhuj, and even different places we organize different programs also in collaboration with RRA Network, particularly with Sabyasachi. Thank you, Sabyasachi. And over to Sabyasachi.
Yeah. Thank you, Rankaji, for all the participants. So once again, welcome after. So there will be some questions that I will be asking and I will be expecting answers. So now I will be actually talking about the livestock integration in natural farming, probably some kind of a different perspective that I will try to place before you to consider, think, and then say yes or no. And you are free to accept that perspective. You are free to reject the perspective as well. Then I will talk about some of the principles. Then I will talk about some of the practices that I had while doing the work for over a period of time. So primarily it is about the perspective, principles, and the practices. And these practices are actually carried out in some of the places in the country. So I'll speak about it. And primarily my background is a mix of a khichdi. So I studied agriculture, then did social science, then also got my post graduation from India. So some part of my work is also on dairy. So I like khichdi and I like to make khichdi. So probably I will tell that it is important to make some khichdi in natural farming. So can I ask you that? Can you tell me that what are the three words coming up in your mind by looking at this photo? Three words. In chat box or quickly unmute yourself and then tell. Three words, not more than that. Okay, so Ajay ji has written native food, healthy food. Great, sir. Food, water, livestock. Dr. Subramania said, thank you. Cattle, dairy farm, and farmer. Okay. Free grazing, somebody has said. All together. Food, feed, fodder, interaction. Okay. So nice. Going well. Livestock farming in India is mostly migrating in nature. Oh, that's nice. Another perspective. Okay. I'll explain a bit. Anyone want to? Okay. I'll explain a bit. So there is at this photograph, there is no dairy. You might have tempted that since I had a dairy background and then also have a cattle, and whenever we see the photographs of cattle, cattle and herd of a cattle, we tend to look at that there is some kind of a dairy activity is happening. So the photographs is from an area where there is a lot of dairy activity, but these photographs signifies something else. These photograph all the cattle are not milch cattle. They are primarily for draft. You all of you probably those who have seen these cattle. These are the Kankrej cattle, known for a dual purpose animal, dual purpose breed. But this primarily the photo is, as someone has said, it's a migratory herds, and this is actually a migratory herd, and they are the male calves cattle, non-milch cattle, which are actually graze on a grassland which is called bunny grassland, Bunny grassland. Probably some of you who have joined us from Gujarat. I remember that in the first day, 26 officers from the Gujarat, all the districts have joined. They know the Bunny grassland, and this is the largest tropical grassland in Asia. And these are actually bullock, which are being raised by the person you can see in the photographs, and they are sold for plowing the land, primarily in the Saurashtra region, where there is a lot of cotton field, black cotton soil, and these breeds are very hardy breeds. They can do the work in black cotton soil, and this gives the grassland gives the cattle the food, and then this selling of animals gives the livelihood for the person who is making the roti. So I put this, but why I have chosen these photographs to place before you without, and where there is a no dairy in this significance of dairy in this, but why I have put it? I have put it because there is a need to have some kind of a discussion on this following thing that I thought, because I saw that there is a narrative in the natural farming. One part of the narrative is that desi cow is essential. It's mandatory for natural farming. So I thought that, okay, let us talk about it a bit. Whether it is only desi cow is required. Might also have some questions about whether other species of livestock, whether they are not contributing, they will not be contributing to the NF processes. Is it only the crop husbandry that constitute the natural farming? Is natural farming is restricted to the cropland, the farm? And then what are the crucial interconnections between the crop and livestock in natural farming? Then I know that some of the officers from the animal husbandry department has also joined. Then several of the officers from the KVK, they also joined in this program. So therefore, I thought that I would ask a question: what is the role of animal husbandry department in natural farming? I asked the same question to the joint secretary as well as the commissioner, animal husbandry commissioner in Government of India. So there is a lot of narrative of natural farming, lot of initiative of a natural farming happening. Then what we as a animal husbandry department should do or are exploring to do. These are the questions that I thought that let us put into some kind of a discussion and the perspective. And I will tell my perspective while working with the sector for around 20 years or so, and looking at livestock and rain-fed agriculture very closely over the period of time. And in several states, I worked in Maharashtra, Gujarat, and then Telangana, Andhra, and through the RRA network, I had the opportunity to travel to more than 20 states for the looking at the livestock and agriculture interaction. Okay, so we'll discuss about it. So first thing is that what do you think that do we need only the desi cow for NF, natural farming, or is there any role of other species as well for the NF? Go ahead.
My name is Shyam Sundar Reddy. I am Deputy Director of Agriculture, retired. So your question is valid question. Most of the people, they doesn't know the difference between the deshi cow and other cows. I will ask you one question, sir. You are an animal husbandry person. I will ask one question. If deshi cow done in outside, if you observe any deshi cow done in outside, after one day or 2 days, you just remove from the place, just move it. as compared to other animals. Whatever the animals are there, you compare it. So you see the bottom of the Deshi cow, there is a lot of microorganisms, moisture retention. There is a lot of microorganisms activities going on. If it is all the cow dungs are same, why it was happened? Please tell me, sir.
So I have not said that whether everything is same. I have asked you that whether it is on the essential for natural farming. My question was different than whether we will go, whether a desi cow has a better quality or not. I have not said that desi cow does not have better qualitative aspects, particularly in terms of microbial activity or in terms of microorganism. So you are right.
Sir, one thing, sir. I have observed practically, 1 minute, sir. I have observed practically, even in case Deshi cow also, I have find difference, its properties from urban area to rural area. The rural area, natural cow dung, which is available, I got very good results in these tribal areas, rural areas, as compared to the urban areas. That is depending upon the feeding capacity of the animal.
Exactly.
Sir,
Exactly.
Sir,
Exactly.
Sir Umesh Badani is here from Nandurbar, Maharashtra.
Okay. Okay.
Sir, it makes no difference if it is indigenous or exotic one. Not too much different.
Okay. So I got a two different kind of a perspective. Integrate animal, and it will be good if you can integrate the desi cow. If you can integrate the desi cow, so your resources will be little less than the other cow, particularly the crossbred. Then I am also saying I will show you some photographs where people have looked into the old sheep and goat penning, cattle penning to improve their soil fertility, soil increasing. Two questions. My intention was to tell you that don't get blocked into this, that if a farmer does not have a desi cow, he or she will not be able to do natural farming. I'm saying that by utilization of the animals and best utilization of animal, they can do it. This is my first proposition, that perspective that I got while working on the field. So what are those different practices that will come into the practice section? Then I said that is it the only crop husbandry that in the farm that can constitute NF? I will come back to that and the other questions as well. Let me go to the next slides and ask you another question. So what is this? And then is there any linkages between this kind of a animal husbandry with the natural farming? Very quick 2-3 chat. Arun sir, yes, very short and then quick.
Sir, because these grazing animals eat lot of diverse kind of vegetation, which increases microbes count in their cow dung and urine also. Sir.
Right. So nice. So that means grazing is important. Grazing is important for the animals so that they can produce a better kind of a cow dung and this thing, which can help in soil enrichment. But many a time we always say, and many a time you will find that people do not appreciate grazing. But in my perspective, I got a sense that grazing will actually help in promoting natural farming because of their quality. One, the quality of dung will be improved, and then second point that I wanted to inform you, which is in my next slides. See, from the last in the last 2-3 days, we were focusing in natural farming. We are focusing on two things primarily. One is looking at the soil health, what you have said, and second is what is the second thing is the crop system. These are the two things that has been discussed every day. That has been discussed by all the panelists or all the speakers, and also you are also telling that the grazing also help in reducing weight. Grazing is also helping in because they can graze before the flowering. All these actually very important. But I am trying to bring in the logic of, if you have good integration of bullock or bringing bullock supports the diverse crop system. So one point I was telling that livestock is very necessary for all these the dung and etc. increases microbial activities in the soil. And at the second point, which is most important, another most important point is that bullock actually helps you to move into the diverse cropping, because in monocropping you see that there is a lot of difficulties in transforming monocropping into the organic farming or natural farming. Every speaker has said you need to move into the diversification, and current technologies, equipment, tools and machine does not support the crop diversification or multi-cropping system or the polycropping system. The multi-cropping and polycropping that you have heard, that yes, intercultural operation is the primary thing that they do, and therefore the intercultural operation will not be done by the other machines. So therefore it is important, and people say polycropping, diverse cropping system is one of the principle of the natural farming. So therefore it is important to bring in bullock. And if you look at the number of breeds in the country, if you look at the number of cattle breeds, it is now around 50 cattle breeds in the country. And if you look at these breeds, 45 are primarily the draft animal, and we are not utilizing those draft animal. And if you look at the map of rain-fed agriculture and then look at the population of indigenous cattle, male cattle population, you will find that most of these cattle are found in the rain-fed areas, and for the multi-cropping system the bullock is necessary. And then the debate will also come that nowadays farmers will not be able to raise a bullock. In that case, my response is, if you are into the multi-cropping system, then you will have far more fodder than you have in the monocropping system. So therefore it is a probably you need to accept the both. Means once you bring in bullock into the crop in the farming system, the crop system, automatically the issues of fodder will be issues of fodder will be lower than the currently we are having. My next proposition is like this kind of a right side, this photograph probably you have seen in one of the crop system presentation. You can find this system if this system have a bullock operated system. The right side photo, whether you call it as a Navdhanya, whether it is called as an Akdi Salu in Karnataka, there are 14 different crop system that we have documented. Everywhere bullock has played important role. So therefore, while all the discussion of the natural farming goes for only which देसी काऊ का काऊ यूरिन काऊ डंग ये बेटर है नहीं है, इस जगह से भी हमें आके जाना है that bullock is very important for multi-cropping system. Multi-cropping system is a diverse system. It is one of the basic principle of agroecology, one of the basic principle of the natural farming. So what type of this production system? Can anybody say that what type of this production system it is? This is a free-range system, probably some of you will tell. We generally call it as a, extensive grazing system, agro-pastoral system. Okay, right, nomadic, right. Pasture-based animal husbandry system. So, if this is this, most of you who have put into the chat box, you have rightly said it is a pastoral system, right? This photograph is also from a bunny grassland, and if you see that these animals produce good quantity of milk, this is an area of 2,500 square kilometer area, having around 20 panchayat, and they produce more than 1 lakh liter every day in that region, and both Amul and Mother Dairy collect more than 1 lakh liter of milk. So whether this kind of a milk production system can also be considered as a natural farming system. So my third question was basically whether the natural farming, all the discourse of the natural farming, whether it should be restricted only to the farm or it is beyond farm. So my understanding is it is not restricted into the farm itself. It is beyond the farm, because there are a lot of other production system, whether you call it as a pastoral system, agro-pastoral system, those can also be part of the, those can also should be also part of the thinking, perspective, and principles when we will be talking about the natural farming principle, natural farming perspective. One of you have also said that this is beyond farm. Natural farming concept is not limited to farm, it is beyond the farm, and then it can also be natural. Yes, beyond farm, and it should include Arun Saab, you have also said it should include whole ecosystem. So I'll come back to that. Let me put another example and then I'll come back to this. So I am also putting another example. Yeah. So look at the bottom of the bottom photographs, right side bottom. That is basically the camel is grazing, and this is grazing in a island, and these are the very typical from the Creek of Kutch, where you will find a lot of camel. And now in the last 5 years, a lot of work has been done for marketing, value chain, and value addition of the camel milk. So I consider this is a this camel milk, the Amul that produced in the left hand side, and also the camel milk chocolate. I consider this is a product of the natural farming system, and the natural farming system is pastoral system, where we get the product from the camel. So I consider this is also part of the natural farming. So from the last 3 days, we discussed more about the farm. I'm trying to bring you out of the farm and looking at what are the other options. And these are the non-competitive natural feeding and all that. Yes, these are into the natural feeding. Yeah. So now I'm coming to what Dr. Arun has said, that we need to come up, take this natural farming not only into the farm but beyond farm, and bringing into the ecosystem. So now I am coming into that part. That is, we realize that crop, livestock, and landscape, this could be a framework for natural farming. So in this, why I am saying this, because of some of my earlier conversation and example that I have said. So there is a crop system. I am saying that there are different kind of a crop system. It is also included with the tree and agroforestry, and then it is linked to the commons, There is a lot of common land that I have said, and there is a lot of common land available primarily in the most of the states in the country, other than probably the Punjab and Haryana. But the rest of the country has enough common land, which is are into the threat of not not having proper investment and proper management in those regions. So I see that the livestock that provide this kind of a crop system brings in fodder, straw, bran, cake, and then our livestock provide the drug power, dung, and urine. Then this livestock system has a some kind of a unique breeds, and these breeds are locally adapted, and locally they work well, and then they provide milk, meat, fiber, leather, and etc. And that actually provides a farmer family the food and income. So if we consider this as a framework rather than only farm as a framework of natural farming, so then we will be probably in a better position to place ourselves into the natural farming pathway. So it is therefore my submission is to think not only about the farm, looking at beyond farm, the landscape, and also the ecosystem, looking at crop livestock integration. So therefore, we used to say that let us look at that what kind of an ecosystem services this combination can provide. And as someone has said that in the grazing areas, grazing system, there is a lot of diverse trees, shrubs, and grasses are taken up by animals, and therefore they get a better quality dung, having a greater microbial activity and possibilities in the soil, and therefore there will be a benefit if this kind of a framework are adapted for natural farming. There is always a debate whether animal can be part of the farming system. Farmers are unable to keep the animals. There is a lot of fodder is required, and we do not have farmer does not have much fodder, so therefore they need to depend on the external fodder, and therefore there is a lot of cost into it. So here the experience is that probably in the last session some of the farmer has said, and therefore we are saying, some of you have also said, look into the natural resource management. It is important. Look at that from where you will get fodder. Some of the fodders will come from the grazing land, and therefore the importance of the management of the grazing land is very important. And then there is also the fallows. So my point is, look at the grazing areas, look at the fallows, and these experiences which we have done in Andhra Pradesh that provide a fodder security to a village. Fodder security is primarily a major concern in the animal husbandry. While government has established a lot of system for healthcare, but fodder is still the issue, and primarily during the summer season. So therefore, in the program of natural farming, if you are responsible for your district, you must look into that what are the interventions in livestock that helps in fodder security from the grazing areas as well as the fallows with a natural processes. Here they have only done some kind of an cultivation that they have sown earlier probably, and then this kind of a mix kind of a different kind of a seeds were being cultivated, and then they got a fodder security. If one village in a dryland area like Anandpur can get a fodder security, then I believe that most of our villages in the country can have a fodder security if a systematically understanding the need of an animal into the natural farming, and looking at the grazing areas and the fallows for the fodder security. If we can do this, if this can be done in Anandpur, this can be done in the other parts of the country. So these are the photographs. These are the areas where people collectively worked for doing this fodder. Then I come back to the original thing, that what this cow dung, cow urine, and then there is a lot of discussion happen in the natural farming, that it is very laborious, and therefore still now those several organizations, several people have started working on the natural farming over the 20 years, but we have not achieved the scale, because that we have not able to find out solution how to reduce the labor which is required for the natural farming. So I see that there is a lot of innovation has been done primarily in Andhra Pradesh and probably in the other parts of the country. In Andhra Pradesh, because that the state has a large scale program on natural farming. So there is a kind of an entrepreneur who can make the Jivamrita unit, and then they can supply it to the other farmer, because farmer also need to have some time, and since they get the pesticide chemical very easily from the shop, they also we need to create a systems by which, if someone does not have enough family labor in their household, they can go and procure and purchase this kind of a Jivamrita unit, Jivamrita. Then I see that there is a lot of other innovation has been done. Some of the ICR Institute, they also tried to look at the use of draft animal power. So we were also engaged with some of the ICR Institute on that. And then we tried to look at what are the different, whether this kind of a bullock, how it could go for a multi-cropping kind of a systems. Then we also tried with the solar. Solar is not new, but using solar generally in most of the cases, you will find wherever the solar application is done, you will find that those are fixed. We tried to link it with the bullock and then tried to make it as a mobile. If someone needs water from their farm pond or some water body, they can do it. Then it can be easily transported and fixed into the another field. So this is the different way of looking at the problem, different way of coming out with the solutions. So my primary proposition is that we need to find out different ways of utilization of animals which will help in promoting natural farming. Then I will come back to, as I said, there is a lot of painting. Probably those who are from the central and Deccan Plateau, you'll find that a lot of painting activities are being done. I consider that this is also a very important practice to promote microbial activity in soil, and this has not been considered at all in the discussion of the natural farming. So therefore, I put this picture to think and ponder that whether these traditions of penning, which is still there in many places in the country, particularly in the arid and semi-arid region, whether these practices can also be considered as a part of the various practices of natural farming. And these processes, they are also facing a lot of different kind of a problem, but these processes can be facilitated, can be supported by the government. There is always an inter relationship between a farmer and a shepherds, but government can provide certain kind of a support to promote this into a systematic way. So this is another model that we have tried in north coastal Andhra Pradesh as well as in Andhra Pradesh. North coastal Andhra Pradesh is also a high rainfall zone, and here, along with the Andhra Pradesh, we have tried it in other 4 5 states, including Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh. So here, what we have tried is to have a half an acre of land where the poultry has been integrated into a natural farming system. So poultry, and this poultry is the desi poultry. And if you look at the whole poultry population in the backyard, you will find that 82%, earlier it was 84% of the poultry is uh, uh, is uh, is the desi poultry in the country. And if you can integrate in this way half an acre of land, which provides lot of integration with the vegetables, with the trees, with the fruits, and also with the grains. So we have seen that this kind of a model from a half an acre of land with a natural farming, and these are the benefit of having poultry into the system. You can do it in poultry, you can do it in the other livestock. So that actually helps in a lot of reducing insect, it improves in soil health. And then you will find that there is a lot of plantation that you promote through this system. Your soil is mostly covered, there is a lot of foraging grounds for the poultry, and there is a lot of food for the poultry through the foraging. And if you can do it, I'm sure that this half an acre of land, from our experiences, and where this half acre to 1 acre of land, you can easily fetch more than 1 lakh rupees in a year. There is some kind of a systematic approach tried in different districts, and most of them were from the tribal district, but in Anandpur and other sides, we have also done. There is a one participant's mic is unmuted and there is a lot of noise from there. Please look into that. So this kind of a model, I was proposing to many of the state and also central government to look into this kind of a model as a their contribution into the natural farming. So this is the farmer, one of the farmer. We have done this in the we call it as a intensive natural farm with the free range poultry, and this is the area that he is from, and they are actually fetching more than 1.5 lakh rupees in a year after 6 months of establishment of the this kind of a parent enterprise, desi poultry enterprise. My final point is livestock in the landscape will support the natural farming in much bigger way if we only consider the farm. So many of my photographs also supported by one of the organization called Sahjivan in Gujarat and Wasan and RRA Network. So I wanted to tell that acknowledge the photo credit and all that. So this is a kind of a my understanding over the period of time that we need to think natural farming beyond farm, look into the landscape, look into the ecosystem, look at the different requirement of natural livestock from the principal area of I would say the crop system approach, multi-cropping, multi-layer cropping, and then integrate livestock into this. And this is the best way to actually look at natural farming. If you look at the first day, Samir also said that it is a kind of a system. It is not only restricted to the crop production only. It goes far beyond the crop production. So therefore, it is important to integrate livestock into the natural farming. So this is probably this is the perspective and some of the principle and also some of the practices that we followed over the period of time. I wanted to share this with all of you